Well, here we are. It's only taken 131 episodes, but we're finally reaching our first analysis of the final episode of Dragon Ball Super. What an important episode. Welcome back to V&J Reviews. This is Vin.
And this is Joe.
If you want to hear it, it's coming up after this. With that last episode behind us, we are all excited for the final episode of Dragon Ball Super, the end of the Tournament of Power, and everything that brings with it. So there's a few things we need to talk about. Of course, a lot of the images and imagery that we have seen already from some of the upcoming stuff at the end of the final episode. But also, and I want to say this before we talk about that stuff, and I think this is really the big thing. And I, if you listened to a previous episode of ours earlier in the week, I made mention that we would talk about this on our analysis of the final episode, and this is what it is. The big deal here is there is a lot for them to do in this final episode. And my worry is even though the last episode was really awesome with the fight and the quality of the fight and the animation and stuff, I am worried that they're not going to be able to tie up every loose end with the short amount of time that they have. Now, maybe they're going to be able to do it, but there's so many loose ends to tie here. I am going to be interested to see on how they're going to be able to possibly do this.
So yeah, if this was going to be a 1 hour video, I can definitely see them doing like the first 3 minutes as a fight, and then the next 30 minutes trying to wrap everything up. But with this limited time, I don't know how they're going to split it up enough where we're going to be truly satisfied with the ending. I just can't even imagine in my own head how they could possibly do it.
And when it comes down to how many minutes they actually have, it's probably right around the 18 to 20 minute mark they have per episode.
Yeah.
Not, getting rid of all the other nonsense that happens.
Like
so
the ending, the beginning, and all that stuff.
Right. So it may be 18 minutes or so. So here's the deal. They now have Goku, 17, and Frieza, and Jiren, and they have to wrap up this Tournament of Power. They have to figure out how, who's going to win, how they're going to win, how the final fights are going to happen, how Goku's going to come back. Jiren, are we going to learn about anything else from Jiren's past and Jiren's wish? I mean, that's been a huge thing. Are we ever going to know what Jiren's wish is? Are we going to ever know more about Jiren and his past? Are we not going to know about that? Is he going to get eliminated? Are other members of Universe 7 going to get eliminated? Who's going to be the final person? Then, what is the wish going to be? Is the wish going to be able to get back these other universes? How is that going to work out? What is Zeno going to do? Then even after the wish is done and the whole universe is somehow all encapsulated and finished, then what happens with Universe 7? Where do they go? Where do they end? Do they go back to Earth? Do they go back to their families?
It's like I'm wondering still about are they going to tell Bulma what happened? Are we going to see Trunks and Goten, see how they did at all?
I mean, it's taking us a couple minutes at least to just talk about these things.
Yeah.
Never mind actually animate and tell the story correctly. So it worries me that they're not going to be able to do all this. So what I think is going to end up happening is they're going to take the first half of the episode before the halfway break to finish up the fighting stuff. I think that you're going to see all of the fighting that's probably going to happen in this episode in the first half. So basically the first 8 to 9 minutes or so are going to be the fighting, and at that point it's probably going to be pretty much, if not completely, done. The second half of the episode is going to be dealing with likely all of the rest. What's happening with the other universes? What is Zeno or the Zenos going to do? What is the wish going to be? What's the impact of that wish going to be? What is Universe 7 going to do? Are they going to go back to Earth? Is there going to be anything that's going to lead towards any cliffhangers or some future arcs and stuff?
I think there's going to be a cliffhanger.
There may be. So that's all going to be dealt with in the second half. Now, the title itself says The Miraculous Ending, which means that whatever the ending is, it must be a miracle, meaning it must have some sort of a miracle impact to it. So that lends us to believe that there's going to be, it's going to be beneficial to a lot of people. Whatever the wish is or the ending is or however this is all going to go about, it's going to be miraculous. And also farewell Goku until next time, which is basically a throwback. But so all of that should work out in some sort of a way. We're really interested to see that. But it's a lot to do. It's a lot to do in an 18-minute time slot. It really is. So, and to do well is the big issue. Can they do this well?
Now, talking about the actual fighting that we see in the next episode, thanks to the previews, we're going to see Jiren fighting 17 and Frieza together. Frieza and 17 are actually going to be working together to block some of Jiren's attacks.
It's likely he might be shooting towards Goku or different things.
Correct. I mean, we were going to actually see Goku come back. They actually even show that, so we know that Goku's going to get enough power.
And you'd think that with 30 seconds remaining, him depleted to next to nothing, there's no way he's getting up in 30 seconds and fighting.
Nope, Goku's able to do it.
But not only is he getting up, so that means that what really is happening here is that Goku went Ultra Instinct. It completely ripped apart his body, and in 15 seconds, he's going to stand back up and start fighting again. That's what that means. There's no way around that because there's basically 30 seconds left in this Tournament of Power. So however you feel about that or think about that, that is going to happen. But Jiren is not done yet either. Jiren is fiercely fighting in this, although he is grinning his teeth. He's gritting his teeth, meaning he is really putting forth his power here, which is showing he's depleted
and
if he's
doing
this.
Damage to him. They definitely show it.
In the past, Jiren has faced guys of the likes of power of Frieza and 17 easily.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. He just sits there and hovers in midair and blocks them. Now he's gritting his teeth and he's trying his hardest, which shows us he's completely depleted and he's trying his hardest. Plus, we get some images that lend us to think that 17 and Frieza are actually having some impact on him,
Correct.
that their attacks are actually doing something.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have a hard time, and obviously we all don't think that Jiren's going to win this. We don't see it happening.
Yeah, of course not. And so Goku's still in it. I mean, it's 3 against 1 now, 30 seconds left. We know Universe 7 is going to still be left, so we don't know what the miraculous ending is, but then we do see the images of the Xenos coming down, so that probably, and the Grand Priest looking back up at the Xenos, and so now that lends us to believe this is where it's happened. Whatever the ending is, it's happened now.
And what also lends us to believe that we're going to win is obviously the gods actually are surprised at whatever the wish is going to be. They actually show us them being surprised by it, so that lends us a little bit more to that side as well.
Well, of course, and it's possible too that nobody gets eliminated here. That everyone lasts until the end, and
we
boom,
still win.
The middle drops down, it hits the 0 mark, and the tournament's over, and all 3 are left. Jiren maybe could knock off one person or something. I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen, but
yeah, they could do whatever.
It could just be the time ends. But either way, the Xenos come down, the Grand Priest looks up, and they're kind of they have this golden aura around them and stuff, so you know the wish is coming or it's being fulfilled or whatever's happening. And then, yeah, like Joe said, you see the surprised look on their face. So the big question here becomes, how in the world do you wrap up all of this final fighting, the backstory of Jiren, the wish of Universe 7, if it is Universe 7 that gets it, the impact of the wish that it has on everybody, and what Universe 7 does after that, and wrap and conclude up everything really well, and or leave some sort of a cliffhanger as well? Is it possible to do it well in 18 minutes? Well, that is yet to be seen.
I will say no. I mean, I still want them to have conversations with each of the people. You talk with Vegeta. We didn't even mention Vegeta yet, and we're not going to probably get a conclusion with him talking about how he did, or even Gohan saying you did a good job, Gohan. I'm proud of you. Even that small situation. I don't even know if they're going to go. Well, I mean,
who cares about Gohan?
But normally you want at least to wrap up with the main character talking to everybody and getting all this stuff through. But I just don't see him doing it.
What if Nimbus comes back?
Nimbus? I mean, Pycon?
Pycon, come on. So anyway, I mean, to me, that's the big deal. The big deal here is, can they wrap it all up? Can they do it well? And so our hopes are that they can, especially after seeing that fight from last episode.
Oh, yeah.
That somehow they figured out how to do it. But it just seems like there's too much. Not that they're not going to be able to do it, but that they're not going to be able to do it really, really well. That's going to satisfy everyone. We may be having an episode next week where we're like, yeah, that was great, awesome ending, but who feels completely satisfied with this? Maybe not everybody will. So.
And there is one other thing. There is supposed to be some type of special ending, according to them, after Super ends. I hope we get to see that, because I don't know how they're going to pull that off because with the Super show, and then if they're going to do it right afterwards, or is it just going to be something special with Japan and we're going to have to wait for it a little bit afterwards? But there is something special that they said that they're going to do. I wonder what that's going to be.
I mean, the best thing that they could possibly do here is totally leave a cliffhanger. That's basically, this has to be continued on later on, letting us know that in a short 9-10 months from now, they will be picking this thing back up. So that would be the best, to actually not fully conclude it. Now, we do know that the movie that's coming out is going to be coming out as following this timeline fashion. It's following Dragon Ball Super,
which is abnormal because most movies are normally one shots on themselves, not actually following with the show.
But that also might speak to the fact that they are continuing this thing. That maybe this was Super, the Tournament of Power. They're going to the movie, and then after the movie, possibly something.
I mean, that's what it's looking like, at least from the information that we're getting. It's not. I don't think it's 100% like that. It's 100% going to match with the show completely. But that's what everything is pointing to. So that's cool. Yeah.
So hopefully they do that. So anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Are you guys seeing the ending the same way? Do you expect anything crazy to happen, different, unique? To be any surprises or anything like that? So how do you see this all going down? Leave your comments below. It's been a great time analyzing these things with you guys, and we're reaching the end here of the show itself, but not the end of us here, because we have a lot of chart videos coming out, and we're going to basically be doing a lot of countdowns, top 5, top 10s from the Hall of Dragon Ball Super. So some really cool full analysis look that we just can't do when each episode comes out. It's just impossible, really. So look forward to that. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. And if you would like, turn on those notifications so that you can get the episodes when they do come out. So we've enjoyed having you guys along with us for this one. Leave a comment below, like the video, share with others. This is Vin.
And Mrs. Joe.
Until next time.